Welcome to WaksBrutalTruth. I'm your host Wak, and I'm glad that you joined me for this video. Originally, I set out with the idea of this video being a guide to how to grow on YouTube. But as I got into thinking about how to structure this video and what I wanted to share with you, I started to think that maybe it was better for me to just tell you my story and my journey on YouTube. Now that doesn't mean that you're not going to learn from this video, it just means I'm not going to give you tips and guides like you see in a lot of other videos. If you're starting on YouTube, you probably already watch channels that tell you to do X, Y, and Z, and that's going to help you grow and maintain your channel and get monetized and all those different great things. Most of those grow on YouTube channels are all going to tell you the same thing. Have good thumbnails, correctly title it, tag it, put keywords and things in your description so that YouTube will send it out there. You need to have a good video with a good vision of what you want to tell your viewers. And all of that's great. You should be doing all of those things. However, there's stuff that they don't cover, whether they haven't experienced it themselves or because it's not suited for every single user, or they don't feel like everyone that watches their videos is going to engage with that kind of content. And anytime you watch a video on YouTube, you should understand that there is someone on the other side of that video with their own vision of what they want to accomplish with that video. Some videos are put out there just to help out the community. Some videos are put out there just to make money and to cash in on views. There are numerous reasons why people can upload videos to YouTube, and you don't always know what the full intention of those videos are. Now, I uploaded a quick video just explaining my intentions for this channel, and if you haven't watched that, you should, but I really want to help people grow on this channel. So that is goal number one. Goal number two, obviously, is to make some money off the channel because I do want YouTube to become my full-time job. And if I'm gonna give anybody just a hardcore tip about starting YouTube, it's not to look at it as a hobby. If you want to do YouTube as a career, you need to make it a career right now. And that way, when you get down the road and you start having issues or you run into burnout, which I'm gonna cover a little bit later on in this video, you'll be able to handle it a lot better because you're already treating it as if it was a job. So if you're somebody that wants to grow on YouTube, stick around and watch this video. Also, if you want a little bit more insight into why I do things the way that I do on my main channel, Wak4863, this is a great way for you to get an inside look or behind the scenes peek at the things that I do on purpose and intentionally over on that channel. So let's go back in time. We're going to go all the way back to 2011. That's when I started the Wak4863 channel. Now, if you asked me back then, about 3 to 4 months after I started the channel, if I would have changed the name of my channel, I absolutely would have. However, if we fast forward to now, I'm glad that I never changed it. You see, I can go anywhere on any platform and get that name because nobody else is trying to grab that account. Now that's just something that works out for me. You may want something that's more catchy or flashy than some random name, but in the long run, this is what's worked out for me, and I'm not letting it go. And I really don't think that people care about channel names until they get super big and they become household names. And then at that point, you really want a household name that's going to stick out from anyone else. And that is one of the reasons why I will never give up the Wak4863 name or change it down the road. Now, I said we were going to go all the way back to 2011. That's when this journey started. I didn't know anything about YouTube. I didn't know you could upload gameplay to YouTube. Me and some buddies were on a game and we were chatting about gameplay on YouTube. They told me there was a ton of gameplay on YouTube and how cool it was, and so I had to check it out. Once I did, I was hooked from that moment. I had to get all the equipment to get the game footage off of my console and record it onto my PC. I had to get an editing software and all of these different things. And I was absolutely infatuated with the process. I started reaching out to everyone that I could, and I started looking at YouTube for everything that I could to learn more about the process of editing videos and uploading them to YouTube. Now, I'm a guy that believes that you should learn anything that someone will teach you for free as long as it's something that you think you can use and benefit from. And I learned an absolute ton from watching guides on YouTube. In fact, I would say I'm self-taught in video editing entirely. I learned everything that I know in video editing from either watching a guide on YouTube or talking to someone who already had the software that I was planning to use or started to use to learn what I could from them so that I could increase my skills and better the content that I was producing. And I still do this today, and that would be another tip for those of you that are planning to start YouTube or that are doing YouTube currently, is to always focus on getting better. Never think that what you're producing is the best possible quality that you can produce, and always try to get better with each and every video. So I learned all this stuff, I got started, and I uploaded my first video to YouTube. It was a pretty good video actually. It happened to be a guide, and it did rather well. As I explored other things, some of those other videos didn't do real well. I didn't know that there were niches that you should fit into on YouTube at that point in time, and so I was kind of all over the place doing a lot of different things, and that led to some really bad things happening on my channel. And those really bad things that happened with my channel actually led me to stop doing YouTube for a number of years. I only recently came back to YouTube in 2019 and started making content again. So let me explain what happened back in 2011 that actually set me up for failure and set me up to shut the channel down and walk away from YouTube. First of all, my vision was not a very good vision, or at least not a realistic vision for what I wanted to happen. I really wanted to be a Lamborghini on YouTube. I wanted to go from 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. I wanted all the viewers, all the subscribers, all the likes in no time, and I didn't concentrate on the things that are really important for YouTube. I just wanted to be huge, and I figured if I could be huge, I'd learn everything else after I got there. Now don't get me wrong, this is something that is achievable on YouTube. However, it's a very small window. Not every channel that comes on YouTube and starts out is going to be able to be a Lamborghini. They're not going to go from 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. And a lot of those channels that do come out of the gate as a Lamborghini don't end up lasting long because they haven't learned to grow slowly. They haven't necessarily learned to produce quality content. So they have one video that blows up and then they hemorrhage views and subscribers and likes for the lifetime of the channel. But that was my goal. I was in the mindset of it was going to be a bullseye and there was no other possible way for me to be successful with my YouTube channel. Now, I didn't realize this until many years later that that was actually the vision that I had. But when I look back at it, that is what set me up to walk away from YouTube, because I was always down in the dumps with the return that I got for each video. I remember uploading videos and sitting there and watching the views come in only to be discouraged by the fact that I wasn't getting the views that I felt like I should be. Now, you should set achievable goals. Now, I say that and you might think, well, my goals are to get as many views on this video as possible, as many subscribers, as many likes, blah, blah, blah. Stop it. Stop looking at the metric to measure your video as the goal and start looking at the people behind those metrics. Those people that are watching your video are watching it for a reason, and your goal needs to be to fit that reason. What is the purpose of your video? Is the purpose of your video to teach something? Is it to just be entertaining? And if those are your goals, you're going to be able to achieve them more often than not. Additionally, when you're focused on the people that are behind the metrics, behind the views, behind the subscribers, behind the likes, then your content takes on its own life form and becomes something that people really want to see. Now, what happened with my channel when I closed it down the first time was I actually just hit burnout. And burnout is going to happen whether you have a really successful channel or you have a channel that isn't actually doing very well. Burnout in work, in life, comes for everyone. And if you're not set up with the proper mindset to continue through hard times, you will just give up and you will walk away just like I did. Now, in my case, it's probably a good thing that I walked away, because when I came back to YouTube, I had a totally different idea of how I wanted to grow my channel. Now, I never planned on coming back on YouTube. The reason why I came back on YouTube was I was playing Conan Exiles and I was looking for information on different mechanics for that game. And I couldn't necessarily find the answers that I was looking for. So I decided that I would dive deep into the game, find the answers, and then I decided that I was going to share those on YouTube. But like I hinted to, I came back with a different idea on how I wanted to approach YouTube. I wasn't going to be this flash in the pan 0 to 60 in 2.9 second Lamborghini. Instead, I wanted to be more like a train. I wanted to start off slow and steady. I wanted to build rapport with each and every community member that would allow me to do so. I wanted to be like a train because you actually get to see everything as you roll by. You get to learn a lot about the landscape that's around you, you get to visit very interesting places, and you get the knowledge of being to each one of those places and seeing those things. On top of that, a train is more difficult to stop than a Lamborghini. Once a train gets going, it's very hard to put the brakes on that train and stop it. Now hopefully that analogy makes sense for you. If you're a Lamborghini, you go 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. When you get to the end, you won't remember what you passed in those 2.9 seconds, and you won't have any lasting memories with those interactions. If you're a train, you're growing slow and you're learning from each of your community members. Hopefully you're interacting with each one of them and creating not only memories, but friendships with those people that are supporting your content. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be looking at views and subscribers and likes on your videos as a metric to decide if you should be making changes to your videos. You should not be looking at those as your goals because you will always end up with less than what you want to get. Now, at some point, you're gonna need to deal with burnout. It happens to all of us. It still happens to me. And the way that I deal with that now is, first of all, I try to schedule myself in a way that I don't have burnout as often as I could. But when it does happen, I simply just let my community know, hey, I'm burnt out, I don't want to do this right now, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Since I built those relationships and those interactions with those folks that are following my content, they know that I'll come back and they're okay and happy with the fact that I'm taking time for myself, even though I may feel guilty about doing it. And this is why growing slow on YouTube is better than growing fast on YouTube. If someone blows up and they all of a sudden say, hey, I'm burnt out, those people don't have any relationship or any tie to that content creator, so they simply jump ship as soon as something goes wrong. And I think it's important for you to define what is success for you. What's a successful video? What is a successful channel? My channel, I feel like, is very successful, and my videos, I feel like, are very successful. Now, I have a wide range of views on my videos, everywhere from 500 views up to over 200,000 views on the videos on my channel. But I don't look at them as having varying levels of success. If I'm able to help and show 500 people how to do something in a game or entertain 500 people with a video, that's as much a successful video as a video that has 200,000 views, because in my opinion, the response from the people in those videos is more important than the actual number of views. Let me give you an example. Let's say you upload a video and it gets 25 views. That's great. Because when's the last time you actually captivated the attention of 25 people in real life? 500 views? When's the last time you spoke to 500 people? 200,000 views? When's the last time you were able to have an audience that wouldn't fit inside the world's largest stadium? You see, having some perspective on how many views you're actually getting is a very healthy way to approach that and keep your mindset in a positive manner. And having a positive mindset is one of the most important things that you can do to keep yourself from burning out on YouTube. Another big change that I made between my initial run at YouTube and my current run at YouTube is that I no longer curse in my videos. Back in 2011, it was like every pronoun, adjective, and adverb, and anywhere I could plug in the F-bomb, it was in there. I didn't have any qualms about cursing in my videos. However, as I've gotten older, I'm more sensitive to it. and so I try not to curse in any of my videos now. The reason being isn't because I have anything against it, but people that do have something against it will pick up on that right away and they'll leave the content because of it. Where people that aren't bothered by cursing, or they curse on a regular basis, they don't even notice the fact that you're not using any curse words. And not that it's the reason why I do it, but this does allow me to avoid a lot of the monetization issues that other channels are facing on YouTube. So how am I going to measure success on this video? I'm going to measure success on this video if I helped one person, or if I entertained one person with my story. Hopefully I achieved my goal, and I'll see you in a future video.